fave.
Hey!
How are you?
I am good.
You are good.
I am good. How are you?
Yeah, really good. Obviously, you can probably tell that we've been filming reels for about an hour.
Yes.
So we've gone a little bit manic.
Yes, it's all been fun. At some point you got a cramp, so that was good in your leg. Yeah.
Can't wait to share that little
I
piece
almost got kicked in the head, so you've got all that to look forward to.
What could we possibly be talking about?
I still think we should do like a bloopers reel with everything.
You're probably 100%
Yeah.
right. It would go down an absolute bloody tree. But I don't know that I'm ready for that level of humiliation in my work life just yet, you know?
We do it on like some sort of big anniversary of the company. Here is like
25 years, 50 years,
whoa,
100 years.
100 years. You really don't want them shown, do you?
Can you imagine? What would we be using in 100 years? You're the tech queen. Are we on holograms by then? Are we?
Oh, we'll just be doing like eye blinks, and it'll just be all in like some sort of like eye contacts. It'll just be magical.
Like the Google Lens thing, but...
Yeah, or maybe we'll just be more like the humans in WALL-E. Just like on seats.
Oh.
Just like driven around.
Their little fat baby hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do love that movie.
It's a good one.
It's really sweet, isn't it?
Yeah, Soul's my favourite though with the Pixar. That is.
Yes.
I love
the
it.
soundtrack to that, I listen to that quite a lot when I'm working. Absolutely, it's gorgeous.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll add that to the list.
Put it on the list. Right. Fun chit chat over. What are we talking about today? What are we talking about?
So today we are talking about ignorance debt, which is a new
debt.
term that I learned in my little reading. Yeah.
Your little reading.
My little reading.
Love that. Okay. So what is ignorance debt?
So ignorance debt is a way that maybe your business is losing money because of things that you don't know. It's as simple as that. So whether it's that because you don't know SEO, you're not doing SEO for your website, because you don't know how to post on social media or how to do it well, you're not doing it. So the idea behind it is, how much money are you losing because you don't know certain things?
Right. So it's kind of the value of learning new things, really.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. I mean, the idea behind it is, you could do it in two ways. Either you can hire someone to kind of do that for you, but that's always the dream scenario. Often we're not as lucky to have all those extra funds just sitting around. So, you've got to train up. And it's that rather than paying someone, several hundred to kind of do your social media or something like that, how about you pay for a course and learn it yourself? Like if you work out that cost, if you've got the time as well. So it's a juggling act.
So it's like juggling almost money spent versus time spent.
Yes.
So if it's something really crucial that you need to know for your business, like SEO, for example, you may not have thousands of pounds to spend on an expert. Yeah. So you have to try and find the time to learn enough that you are not like losing money because your SEO is rubbish.
Yes. And like all debt, it has, great calculations in it.
Yeah.
As in, it's not, a lot of these things are not one-time purchases. Like SEO, you could get someone to do the SEO, like auditing on your website. That's great, and that will work for a few months. But then what? SEO is a very constant thing. Yeah. So are you going to pay those few extra grand every few months to get that done? In an ideal world, that'd be great, but we don't always have that luxury. So maybe do some learning. Same with all these things that you've got to keep doing to keep your business going, to keep it just ticking on, really.
Making money,
yeah.
And I guess there's something, because it sounds like quite a negative term on the surface, doesn't it, that you're like losing money because you don't know enough.
Yes.
But actually, when you kind of scratch the surface of it, it sounds like the cumulative effects of doing that learning will bring so much more value.
That's it.
Longer term.
Rather than thinking, I'm spending, £200 on this course, £200 on that, you're thinking, actually, in the long term, think about how this is going to help me grow. And even, even if maybe that business doesn't work, or even if you like move on or you do a job, you've always got that.
Keep that knowledge.
That's where, that's kind of where that value is. It's that kind of idea, which I quite liked.
I love that. Yeah. I think that's fantastic. And I think that ties really nicely into our business model, because...
Do it all yourself.
Yeah, kind of. We're giving people the ability to learn the skills to do it properly.
Yeah. For
themselves. So like the financial outlay is lower. Yes, the time you need to put in is more, but it's skills that you'll have for a lifetime. So like you say, maybe this business won't work out. Maybe the website that you're working on right now, isn't going to be perfect. But the next time you do it, and there probably will be a next time. Yeah. Because I don't know about you, but like every single person that I know who runs a business runs at least 3 or 4.
Yes, yeah.
It just...
You learn through failure. I mean, and we've both done it, isn't it?
100%.
We learn a huge amount, and the times where we had because we both had separate freelancing kind of companies, and I wish I did spend more then into learning a lot of these bit more on social media and those kind of things and copywriting, because I can transfer that because that's my skill now,
it belongs to you. You keep it forever.
Not saying that you can easily do it, but at least know enough to get by.
And it's that kind of, you won't be in the same like helpless situation 6 months down the line because you can't afford to pay for the service again. You're actually equipping yourself.
Or you can't find someone to do it.
Well, that's true.
How much DIY do we have to do in our own houses? Because we can't live and find a gardener to do it, isn't it? Nightmare.
Everyone's very busy.
Everyone is very busy.
Everybody wants to make their houses beautiful.
Yeah, just in the case.
Which is great for us because the more busy, happy small business owners there are, the more websites are needed.
Yay!
And it all works full circle. But yeah, I'm a big... I mean, you know what I'm like. I'm a massive control freak in like business.
No. I just thought you were so easygoing.
I can't help myself. I really want to do everything myself. Even if I know full well that in 6 months' time I'm going to pay someone to do it professionally, I want to have that stab at it first. And so I love resources that can help me do that.
Yeah.
And it's good to know that I'm not sort of furthering my own ignorance debt, unless it's in areas like housekeeping or general maintenance of the home, as we were talking about today, in which case my ignorance debt can grow and snowball. I don't care.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I think, learning all those skills is something you take away with you. And even if, as you said, like you do hire someone later down the line, wouldn't it be great to understand what the hell they're on about? I know, there's lots of areas like, you're the social media queen, and I do struggle with it a lot, and but I'm trying to pick up stuff, but unless I try it myself, I won't have a clue what you're on about.
Absolutely, the same goes for like you in SEO. I think there's been so many times when I've been like, no, show me what you've done. And even if it goes completely over my head, the next time I make you suffer through describing something like that to me, I'll get it a bit more and I'll have a bit more of
You often do like the double check. You're like, I've written the SEO title on this. Can you just like look at it?
And you're like, yeah, babe, that's fine. It's literally 4 words.
It's best to check.
Always best to check.
I'm like, the URL is wrong. But other than that, it was great. Well done.
Yeah. And I think that might be one of the big reasons that so many business owners kind of get trapped in this cycle of ignorance debt, is that they don't feel that they have a big enough or strong enough community to ask for that support, because it's all good and well doing things yourself, but if you're not sure you're doing it right and you've got no one to ask, what do you do?
Yeah. And the other thing, I mean, it's definitely something that we find with our clients as well, is terminology. You can't communicate because you don't know. We get. I mean, thankfully, I think we've become quite good at working out what they're trying to say. But if you don't know what, the header, logo, favicon, all these terms, even asking for help, you're like, oh, it's the picture at the top. What is it?
100%. I've got a really good example of this, actually. So I studied media production at university, which means it was like a lot of it was video editing. And when you're creating videos, you have all of your clips, and they call it, an industry term is they call it a bin. Like, that's just like the project folder where all of your video files go.
Right, okay.
I didn't know that.
So you thought you were putting everything in the recycling bin?
Well, in my first year of university, no one ever bothered to say that. Everyone just started talking about the bin, like that was just common knowledge.
Yeah.
And like, I managed to figure my way through it, but it's always stuck with me how lost I felt in those first sort of 4 to 6 weeks of that course. Because of one simple word. Yeah. And it's just such an obvious thing to all of them that they didn't even think to clarify.
And it's one of those struggles that you couldn't Google that. You couldn't Google bin or like video editing bin. It wouldn't have given you like that term. So I think even the foundational understanding, is just so key for communicating for yourself and to grow. But it's hard.
It's
hard.
You've
got to balance it.
Yeah, and this is why I think
it can be fun.
It is fun, but like you say, it's that balance of finding that space where you have people that you can say, stupid question alert, I really don't understand this, and all it takes is somebody that's a little bit more experienced to be like, oh no, that's just the folder where you put the video files.
Yes.
And you're like,
oh, that makes so much sense.
Suddenly my whole life makes sense. So
My whole life wow, dramatic.
I was in my first year of uni.
Oh my God, it was your whole life.
I was leaning in to the amateur dramatics.
Yeah. Yeah. So emo then as well.
Oh my God.
The photos of you.
Is anyone surprised by that information?
No. I mean, not much has changed.
Emo kid forever. So what we're saying is, ignorance debt sounds like a really horrible term, but actually, it's really fun to be a beginner sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's okay to be a beginner.
Yeah.
We just have to understand where we're going to put our focus. Is that going to be in hiring someone to make sure that we're not completely screwing it up? Or is it going to be in putting a bit of time into developing our own skills so that we don't completely screw it up? And then if you're going to pick that latter option, which we always do.
We always do.
Because we're control freaks and we're nutcases.
Yes.
And I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
Then make sure that you've got people around you that know a little bit about what they're talking about.
Having someone to ask and just be like, share a screenshot and go, this is the thing, what am I doing? We're very lucky in that way that really our two sides of the coin fit so well together with the design and development. So
it's been an absolute lifesaver. And also we've always had a really good crew. We were talking about this the other day, so for anyone that doesn't know, we live in
Devonshire.
So it's like not massively forward thinking all the time. But the female business scene in the last 5 years, I mean, when was the last time that we freelanced separately? Maybe 4 years ago, 3 years ago?
Yeah, 4 years,
The only networking events that we were ever able to go to were like business chamber, commerce breakfast.
Yes. What do you do? Not useful.
Stand up and do a 5-minute pitch to the whole room.
Oh, a pitch. Oh, no.
So really grateful for the scene being the way that it is now, because the community that we have.
So good. And we've learned a huge amount from the community and the amount of people that we've kind of met, and we've done a lot on. Like, for example, for our business, we've done some on, we had an accountant. She was fantastic, who kind of guided us, and yes, we could have, and she's still there if we need her to hire her to do our accounts, like for the tax and stuff like that. Or she taught us enough that we can kind of do it ourselves, which does save us money in the long run, but also just makes us a bit more savvy about where we're spending our business money and stuff like
100%. Yeah, that's so true, actually. And we're a big fan of a power hour, aren't we, me and you?
Yeah.
I think we love booking.
We do love it a bit too much. We get very excited. We're like, I love learning. Absolute nerds we turn into.
But that's the thing. I think just don't stress about not knowing what you don't know, because we don't know what we don't know. There's no point getting anxious about it. Instead, find fun ways to learn things that top up that little knowledge level, so that you're not constantly racking up that ignorance debt.
Yes, yeah. And if you can find someone online, in person, a little group that you can kind of poke and say, what am I doing? Is always helpful.
So helpful.
So, good.
Love that. Thanks, babe.
Cheers.